What these discoveries are telling us is that there's a lot out there to be found. That we actually don't have the whole story of human evolution.
Africa is full of hidden wonders that even experts find hard to believe. These discoveries are so unusual that many would doubt them without solid evidence. In this video, we'll look at 20 amazing finds from Africa that left researchers stunned. Number 20. Sahara Desert, Africa. Close your eyes and picture the Sahara Desert. You probably see a wide stretch of sand, the sun overhead, and no water in sight. That's exactly what it looks like. The Sahara is the largest hot desert in the world, and the third largest overall, after Antarctica and the Arctic. It covers around 9.2 million square kilometers, which is almost the same size as China. What many people don't know is that the Sahara wasn't always this dry. Around 11,000 years ago, the region was green. It had lakes, rivers, and grasslands filled with animals like elephants, antelopes, and hippos. This period, known as the Green Sahara, happened because of shifts in Earth's orbit. The tilt of Earth's axis changes slightly every 23,000 years. This change affects how much sunlight reaches different parts of the planet, which can lead to major climate changes. During the Green Sahara, more sunlight hit the tropics, bringing extra rainfall into the region. That allowed plants and animals to thrive. But about 5,000 years ago, the climate began to dry out again. Scientists believe this shift happened because of natural geographic changes, not because of human activity. Experts think the desert could become green again in about 15,000 years, once Earth's orbit shifts again. For now, the Sahara remains dry, but its history reminds us that even the harshest landscapes can change. Number 19. The Blue Hole. A deadly dive spot along Egypt's Red Sea coast lies a natural feature that has drawn in deep-sea divers and adventurers for years. Called the Blue Hole, this sinkhole near Dahab reaches a depth of more than 100 meters and is surrounded by steep cliffs that drop into the clear water below. But the Blue Hole isn't a place for casual swimmers. Only experienced and certified divers are allowed to go that deep. For those who make the dive, the sights are incredible. Schools of bright fish and colorful coral await below. But the Blue Hole is also known for its high number of diving accidents. It has taken the lives of many divers, especially those who weren't fully prepared for its challenges. Though exact numbers are unclear, some believe as many as 200 people have died there in recent years. One of the most widely discussed incidents was the death of Yuri Lipsky, a Russian-Israeli diving instructor who lost his life in April 2000. He went in with an air tank, a helmet camera, and extra weights. But he never came back. At depths of more than 300 feet, divers can suffer from nitrogen narcosis, which can cause confusion, poor decision-making, and even hallucinations. These effects can easily lead to deadly mistakes. Despite all this, the Blue Hole continues to attract people from around the globe who are eager to push their limits and experience something few ever do. Its mix of beauty and danger continues to draw crowds year after year. Number 18. The silent forest of Dedvlay, tucked inside the Namib Desert, is a place that looks like it belongs in a dream. Known as Dedvlay, this area is a dry white clay pan, where long dead trees stand like dark shadows against the desert sky. Around 900 years ago, this spot was filled with life. The name Dedvlay means dead marsh, and back then, it lived up to the second part of its name. It was once a green area with flowing water and growing plants. But over time, the climate dried up, and huge sand dunes blocked the water. The trees died off, and what was once a thriving area turned into a dry, lifeless space. The trees, however, didn't rot away. The desert air is so dry that their remains still stand, blackened by the sun but frozen in time. Today, Deadvlay is a popular place for photographers and travelers who come to see its unusual and eerie beauty. The bright white ground, the pitch-black trees, and the deep blue sky make for a dramatic and strange-looking scene. With no living plants or animals around, it gives off the feeling of being in a place completely cut off from the world. Number 17. Discovery of a new continent and ocean. In the Afar region of Ethiopia, scientists have been observing a slow geological change that could eventually lead to the formation of a new continent. This area sits at the meeting point of three tectonic plates, the Nubian, Arabian, and Somalian plates, which are constantly moving. As a result, the crust in this part of East Africa is very thin, allowing magma from below the surface to rise and create features like volcanoes, geysers, and hot springs. In 2005, a 35-mile-long split opened up in the East African Rift Valley. It's over 50 feet deep and about 65 feet wide. Researchers believe that this rift will continue to grow over millions of years. If it does, it could split Africa into two land masses. One would include present-day Somalia and parts of Kenya, Ethiopia, and Tanzania, while the rest of Africa would form the second part. A new ocean would eventually fill the space between them, possibly giving countries like Kenya and Uganda a coastline in the distant future. Number 16. Eye of the Sahara and the Lost City of Atlantis. The Richat structure, also called the Eye of the Sahara, is a large circular land formation in Mauritania. It spans around 50 kilometers across and is clearly visible from space. The structure includes a raised center and surrounding rings made of rock layers, some of which include sandstone and limestone. These layers were shaped by a mix of volcanic activity and erosion over time. While scientists say it's a natural formation, some people believe it could be the site of the lost city of Atlantis, which the Greek philosopher Plato wrote about. Others think it might be a man-made structure, though there is no solid evidence for either claim. Regardless of its origin, the Richat structure stands out because of its size and shape, and continues to draw interest from both scientists and the public. Number 15. Alien Sky Blue Stones. In 1990, Italian geologist Angelo Pittoni received a collection of strange blue stones from a Fula chief in Sierra Leone. The local story claimed that the stones were gifts from beings that came from the sky. When Pittoni took them back to Europe for testing, labs found that the stones didn't match any known minerals. The source of their blue color could not be explained, even under a microscope. Neither acid nor heat could damage them. Pittoni thought the stones looked similar to the turquoise found in ancient Egypt, and called them the Stone of Heaven. Their exact origin is still unknown. Some people think they might have come from space, while others believe they could be connected to forgotten civilizations. No clear answers have been found yet. Number 14. Mauritius is an island in the Indian Ocean, southeast of Africa. It's known for its rich plant and animal life, along with beautiful coral reefs. One of its most talked-about sites is the so-called underwater waterfall. At first glance, the beach just looks like any other. But from the air, it looks like the ocean floor drops off sharply, creating a waterfall beneath the waves. The effect is striking, but it's not a real waterfall. The visual is an illusion caused by sand and silt moving down a slope underwater. As the sand slides into deeper areas, it creates the appearance of water pouring into a hole. Even though it's just an illusion, this natural feature draws many visitors. People travel from all over to see this strange but beautiful sight from above. Number 13. New Widow Spider of Africa. Back in 2014, a new spider species was found in South Africa's Tembe Elephant Park. What made it stand out was a distinct marking on its back shaped like an exclamation mark, along with a squiggly white pattern that looked like a face with a wide-open mouth. Scientists have since named this species the Finda button spider. It is closely related to the black widow, redback, and katapo spiders, and may be the largest widow spider ever identified. Barbara Wright, the explorer who first discovered this spider, explained that its venom is neurotoxic. In other words, a bite from this spider can be dangerous and needs fast medical attention. On top of that, the females have bright red markings on their undersides, and their egg sacs are a striking shade of purple. Each of these sacs can hold around 600 baby spiders. This is definitely one spider you wouldn't want to encounter. Number 12. Unidentified heads discovered. Leidenberg heads. In 1957, a young boy named Carl Ludwig von Bedzing found pieces of pottery while playing on his family's farm in Leidenberg, South Africa. These turned out to be parts of what are now known as the Leidenberg heads, some of the earliest Iron Age art ever discovered in the region. The fragments were later taken to the University of Cape Town, where researchers managed to piece together 7 heads, 2 large and 5 smaller ones. 6 of the heads show human features, while 1 looks more like an animal. 4 of the smaller heads share a similar design, suggesting they were made as a group. Carbon dating shows that the heads were made around the year 490 AD. Small holes found in the sides of the heads suggest they were used in ceremonies, possibly attached to costumes or poles during performances. Today, the Leidenberg heads are kept at the South African Museum in Cape Town. Number 11. Bird of Sakura. In 1898, archaeologists found an object in a tomb in Sakura, Egypt, that raised many questions. The artifact, now known as the Sakura bird, is about 2,200 years old. It looks like a small bird, but also resembles a modern airplane. It has a wingspan of 180 millimeters and weighs just over 39 grams. What makes it so interesting is that no one knows exactly what it was made for. Because there are no written records explaining it, some people have guessed that the ancient Egyptians might have known something about aerodynamics. Some say it could have been a model for a glider or aircraft. Others believe it was just a simple toy, a wooden carving of a bird, or possibly even an early type of weather vane. So far, no one has proven what it really was, and opinions remain divided. What do you think? Was it just a bird model, or something more advanced than we realize? Number 10. Homo naledi, a new type of human found. Back in 2013, a group of cave explorers made a discovery that changed what we thought we knew about human history. Inside a hidden chamber of the Rising Star Cave system in South Africa, they came across a large number of bones from a previously unknown human species now called Homo naledi. Reaching the chamber wasn't easy. The narrow paths and sharp rocks made it nearly impossible for a full-grown adult to get through. Because of this, a group of smaller women had to be brought in to help with the excavation. The bones of Homo naledi showed both early human traits and more developed ones. This led scientists to believe that the species may have lived around the same time as early Homo sapiens and could have played a part in how humans developed. One of the most surprising features of Homo naledi is its brain size, which was only about a third the size of ours. But its hands and feet showed signs that it may have been able to use tools and carry out more complex tasks. This suggested it may have had social habits similar to ours. The bones were dated to be between 236,000 and 335,000 years old, using radiometric methods. But scientists still aren't sure exactly where this species fits in the human timeline. One mystery that remains is how so many skeletons ended up deep in the cave. Some believe it may have been a burial site. Others think the cave may have been a trap that led to their deaths. Number 9. Dinosaur unearthed in Zimbabwe. In 2017 and 2019, a group of scientists working in a remote area of Zimbabwe uncovered bones belonging to one of the oldest dinosaurs ever found in Africa. The dinosaur is called Imbyrosaurus ryathi. The name comes from the local Shona language and also honors paleontologist Michael Rath, who first reported fossils in that region. This dinosaur lived over 230 million years ago during the Jurassic period. It was a small plant eater, about 6 feet long and weighing around 60 pounds. Its build included a long neck and a slim body, which probably helped it reach plants in higher spots. While the dinosaur itself is important, the discovery also shows that the area may contain more prehistoric fossils. Scientists hope that further digging could provide a better picture of the kinds of animals that once lived in ancient Africa. Number 8. Child of Tong. In 1924, workers in Tong, South Africa, found a small skull while digging in a limestone quarry. The fossil ended up in the hands of Raymond Dart, a scientist who studied human anatomy. He believed the skull came from a young hominin, an early human ancestor, that lived about 2.8 million years ago. Dart named the species Australopithecus africanus, which means southern ape of Africa. At the time, many scientists thought humans first evolved in Europe, but the Tong child challenged that view. It was the first early human fossil found in Africa and supported the idea that modern humans came from Africa. This idea became known as the out of Africa theory. The Tong child had both ape-like and human-like features. Its brain size and teeth were similar to apes, but its skull and jaw shape were closer to humans. It showed a mix of traits that placed it between the two. From 1936 to 1947, more fossils of Australopithecus were found in South Africa, this time from adults. These discoveries supported Dart's original claim. Today, the Tong child is one of the key finds in human evolution. It helped shift the focus of anthropology to Africa and changed how we think about human origins. Number 7. Stonehenge of Africa. About 60 miles west of the Nile and 700 miles south of the Great Pyramid of Giza lies Nabta Playa, a site that some people compare to Stonehenge. Archaeologists first found the stone structures there in the 1970s. The stones at Nabta Playa are arranged in patterns that seem to line up with the stars. The site is even older than Stonehenge, dating back over 7,000 years. Experts believe it was used as a calendar or for astronomical tracking. The people who built Nabta Playa were likely nomadic herders. The main structure is a circle of stones, 4 large pairs and several smaller ones. Researchers found that the stones might have been aligned with stars like Sirius, Arcturus, Alpha Centauri, and Orion's Belt. Over time, the site faced damage from visitors who moved or defaced the stones. To protect the site, the stones were later relocated to the Nubian Museum in Aswan, Egypt. Now, people can see them as they originally were, without harming the structure. Number 6. Burkina Faso. In the lakeside village of Bazul, Burkina Faso, people live alongside crocodiles in a way that goes against what we normally expect from these animals. While crocodiles are usually seen as dangerous predators, the ones in Bazul are known to be calm and even friendly with humans. According to local stories, this relationship started in the 15th century. At that time, a severe drought hit the village. As the villagers searched for water, a group of crocodiles led them to a hidden pond. The villagers were so thankful that they held a celebration for the crocodiles. This event became the beginning of a long-standing bond. Each year, the village holds a ceremony called Lakra, where people make offerings and ask the crocodiles for things like good health, a strong harvest, and prosperity. During the dry season, crocodiles can be seen resting in the yards of local homes. They sometimes enter the village to lay their eggs, and people protect the nests from threats. Many locals also believe that these crocodiles carry the souls of their ancestors. When one of them dies, they hold a funeral and bury it in a coffin, just like they would for a person. Number 5. Discovery of statue. In a remote part of Africa, a group of local workers and archaeologists made a shocking discovery buried beneath the earth. While digging through layers of soil, they uncovered what appeared to be the upper half of a massive statue. What stood out immediately was its unusual features: a tall headpiece, a detailed beard, and facial carvings that didn't match the style of known African artifacts. The statue looked incredibly well made, almost lifelike, and seemed to belong to a time and culture that isn't clearly understood. What makes this discovery more confusing is that the statue's design appears similar to ancient Mesopotamian or Middle Eastern figures, not African ones. Its size, shape, and material raise questions about how it ended up in this location. Was there an ancient connection between African and other early civilizations? Or could this statue have been transported from another place long ago? Archaeologists are now studying the statue to learn more about its origin. This unexpected find could change how we view early human history and cross-cultural contact in ancient times. Number 4. Voodoo in Africa. In West Africa, Voodoo is not just a religion, but a regular part of life for many people. The country of Benin is considered its place of origin. Today, more than 40% of Benin's population follows Voodoo, and the religion is officially recognized by the government. Benin even holds a national holiday called Voodoo Day, and it has a museum that focuses entirely on Voodoo traditions. Although Voodoo is often seen in a negative light elsewhere, people in Benin view it as a complete cultural system. It includes beliefs, language, art, music, dance, medicine, and daily practices. Voodoo includes belief in a main god called Mahu, and many other spirits that represent things like war, healing, storms, and the earth. Voodoo priests act as go-betweens for the spirits and the people. They may use herbs to heal people, or in some cases, to harm others. Animals like chickens or sheep, or items like alcohol, are sometimes offered to the spirits to ask for help or to say thank you. People go to voodoo priests for help with many problems, including illness, job issues, relationships, or starting a family. Number 3. African Goliath frogs. When most people picture frogs, they usually think of small, quiet amphibians. But the Conrawa Goliath, or African Goliath frog, breaks that mold. It's the largest frog in the world, growing up to 12.5 inches in length and weighing as much as 7.2 pounds, similar in size to a house cat. These massive frogs live in limited areas of the rainforests in Western Africa, typically near fast-flowing rivers and waterfalls. Like other frog species, they need to stay close to water, often sitting on river rocks at night while looking for food. Their diet includes insects, crustaceans, fish, and even other amphibians. Surprisingly, despite their large size, Goliath frogs are completely mute. They lack a vocal sac, which is why they don't make the croaking sounds frogs are known for. Goliath frogs also have a different breeding process. Males build nests from rocks and gravel along riverbanks and compete with each other in physical matches to earn the chance to mate. These wrestling bouts and the effort involved in moving rocks might be the reason males are larger than females, which is not common in frog species. After mating, the female lays thousands of eggs in the nest, and that's where parental involvement ends. The adults don't stay to protect the eggs. Unfortunately, these frogs are now endangered. Farming, logging, and growing human populations are taking over their habitat. On top of that, they're also hunted for their meat, which adds to the threat. Number 2. Untouched rainforest of Mozambique. At the top of Mount Liko in northern Mozambique, around 700 meters above sea level, there is a hidden rainforest that has remained unknown to most people. Surrounded by a ring of steep rock, this forest has gone untouched by human activity for centuries. Although locals were aware of the mountain, the forest itself wasn't identified until 2012, when biologist Julian Bayliss noticed it while studying satellite images. However, he didn't share his discovery with the world until 2017. What makes this forest stand out is that it has only experienced natural changes like droughts, with no human interference. This has allowed a unique mix of plants and animals to thrive in isolation. Scientists see it as a rare chance to learn more about ecosystems that have developed without human impact. Discovering this hidden rainforest gave researchers a glimpse into both the past and future of natural habitats. It's a powerful reminder that there are still unexplored places on Earth waiting to be studied. Number 1. Fantasy coffins of Ghana. On Ghana's southern coast, funerals are far from somber. For the Ga people, death is marked with style and creativity through what's known as fantasy coffins. These aren't your typical wooden caskets. Instead, they come in custom shapes and designs that reflect the life, profession, or personality of the deceased. A microphone-shaped coffin might be made for a musician or public speaker. A driver might be laid to rest in a car-shaped coffin, a pilot in one shaped like an airplane, and a chief in a lion-shaped one. The level of detail in these coffins is impressive, and often surprises those seeing them for the first time. Over the years, their popularity has grown so much that these coffins are now being sold abroad, including in parts of the US and Europe. While some may see them as strange or even humorous, they hold deep cultural meaning. These coffins are a way for families to honor their loved ones and remember their lives in a special and meaningful way. We hope you liked this video. We'll catch you in the next one.